One question. That's all it takes to determine whether or not this is a game for you. And the question is this. When you're playing Star Fox and you get to the all-range levels, does your mood improve or crash? Do you continue or do you say, F this shit? Which is a pretty eloquent way to say it, I think. Because if you like the all-range levels, you'll like this. This is basically Star Fox All-Range Edition. Subtitled because if Nintendo won't do it, someone has to. Oh wait, they are making a Star Fox game. Well, still, I don't really feel like waiting. Actually, it's called Thorium Wars. This is actually a sequel to a DSiWare game from 2009, a game that got some very positive reviews too, and now it's back on the 3DS eShop, where it just released for about $8. That isn't a bad price for a game like this. In fact, I think the first game was originally $10, so the sequel gets a discount. Why, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I've never played the original, so I have no idea. Besides, you don't question discounts, genius. Hey, speaking of questions, hope you remember the one we asked earlier. You like those open flight missions from Star Fox? Because a pretty sizable chunk of this game is that. You're flying around, G-diffusers open. Man, I really miss Star Fox. Anyway, that means that this isn't the fastest flight game. You know, the pace is kind of slow, kind of deliberate. You have that radar on the bottom of the screen that shows where the enemies are. You spend a lot of time flying around looking for the enemies, as opposed to just shooting them. Which is more diplomatic, I guess. I don't know, I've never been a man of diplomacy. Really, it comes down to preference. You know, personally, I prefer on-rails levels. You know, I like when the game takes you for the ride. There's so many enemies you can't even keep up. I like that faster tempo. That's not to say a game like Thorium Wars isn't fun. In fact, that slower pace creates a cool feeling of exploration, almost like you're hunting your enemies. But that does mean you spend a lot of time just flying around, looking around. It's not always the most thrilling game. You should pick up passengers, charge them like a quarter. Be like a sightseeing tour. That's kind of what this is. It's a sightseeing tour in the ice. Now, of course, the game does pick up the pace at times. It's not all meandering. Fortunately, the game plays pretty well too. Not crazy about using the shoulder buttons to shoot, but the game plays fine otherwise. You get to choose between different vehicles for each mission, which means there's probably a ride for your playstyle. Although I would have liked more weapons, maybe some more firepower. You know, this is just... It's like I have a laser BB gun. I feel like I'm gonna shoot my eye out. If the game has any serious flaws, though, the presentation's gotta be one of them. I mean, some of the environments are pretty, but the enemies and vehicles are kind of stock. You know, it's actually got kind of a mobile feel in that regard. In fact, there's a great little shooter for iOS called Arc Squadron. That game actually looks better than Thorium Wars. It has brighter colors and brighter graphics. This one's not as pretty, so that's kind of a bummer. But fortunately, the soundtrack's okay, and the... Listen, who cares? You know, the gameplay's what matters here, and that's where it delivers. In fact, I'm about to deliver a package right now. You know, this is actually from the makers of Strike Force Fox, which is another fun eShop game on the 3DS. And it's fitting because the two games have a similar level of quality. You know, they're nice, solid games. They won't blow your mind or anything, but they're certainly worth a look if you're a fan of their respective genres. That's Thorium Wars, a nice, solid shooter. Hey, is it as good as Star Fox? No, not even close. It's not as well designed, doesn't have the same character. It's not that caliber of game. But if you like Star Fox, you'll like this one too. Ah, Something's wrong with the G-diffuser. It's Thorium Wars! Attack of the Skyfighter.